Hello, welcome to another episode of the Caribbean Edge. My name is Shauna Whittingham.
Sean Spalding.
Jade Jeffery.
John Wilson.
And Keith Heron.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us once again. Tonight we have a special guest with us. Her name is Jade Jeffery. Welcome.
Thank you, glad to be here.
Welcome, baby.
So Jade is Dawn's daughter. She's actually here in town on spring break.
Yes.
And we're very, very happy to have her. You can't see from this angle, but if Jade were to stand up, you would realize that she is very tall.
Yeah, I keep moving in my seat. Making me very uncomfortable.
So we want to talk to Jade about her height, because from what I can remember, you were basically this height, or almost this height, from middle school, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us, how was that experience for you?
It was very challenging being so tall in middle school because no one really hit their growth spurt until like high school, sophomore year, and I was like 5'9" in middle school, so I did most of my growing before. Yeah. Yeah. I remember like 8th grade, my mom was like, "You're getting like taller than me."
Yeah.
And so I
At
did.
that point, you don't
more-
have to worry about the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Well, actually,
Whoa, all right.
there was one.
There was one that was taller? Really?
Mm-hmm. Same
Please,
height.
dish.
On what?
Oh, okay. Let's back up. All right. So how tall are you now?
5'11".
Okay. So go on. So middle school, you were already 5'9".
Yeah.
Wow.
So I did when I was in elementary school. Elementary school. I had to get my hands measured and X-rayed because I was growing at such a rapid pace. And my parents were like, "Why is she growing so much?" And so they kind of predicted what my height would be, and it was around 6 foot, and that frightened me. And
Based on your hands?
yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Okay.
What was the estimation?
6 foot.
6 feet.
Take it? Okay.
Yeah. So pretty spot on.
Wow.
All right.
Well, that actually started from she was a baby. She was significantly off the charts for as far as her height. And so the doctors were very concerned at an early age that she was growing so quickly and referred her to the specialist to have her hand x-rayed so that they could predict her height and make sure that she wasn't going into precocious puberty at that time. So they were very concerned at an early age and actually recommended drugs to stop her growth
Or
spurts.
stunted.
Yeah. So we actually denied doing that because her dad is 6 foot,
Yeah.
tall, 6'6" actually.
But you're not short by any measure
And
either.
I'm not short.
Yeah.
I'm 5'8", he's 6'6", and so we knew our child would be tall, and so we just were confident in who she was as an individual and chose not to follow. We had 3 specialists advise us to try to stop her growth and do implants to release medicine to stop her.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
I
said
wanted
no.
them.
You see it?
Yeah.
I wanted
Ready
that
to-
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At one point, Jade wanted us to do it, and I was very adamant that I would not put hormones in my child because I did not know what the repercussions of that. These drugs were on the market probably 7-8 years, and my concerns as a mom was, what if I gave her this drug that was not on the marketplace for a long time, and then it stopped something else?
Right.
It impacted her having children, it impacted some other organ in our body, so
Yeah.
I took the risk to say no to drugs for my child.
But speaking of confident, your parents were confident, but how was your confidence level at that age with this height?
It was my lowest of my life. In middle school, it hit like rock bottom. I just like, I look at like other girls in like it wasn't just the height. It was like I have strong features, like my cheekbones and my jawline. They're just strong. In my head,
Well, you have strong features now, so I can
Yeah.
only imagine when you're younger.
and I didn't
Yeah.
grow into it, so I just had
Yeah.
thick eyebrows, and so
Okay.
what normal people consider like beautiful now, like the cheekbones. You know, I get compliments on those. When I was younger, I was like cheekbones. Like, what am I like? You know, like
Who needs cheekbones?
yeah, that's not a compliment. You know, like so I thought I was supposed to have like a softer face. When you see my face, it's very strong,
Yeah.
and so it was just an all-time low for me. But as I got older and hit high school, it started to increase when I started growing into stuff.
Right.
So did you feel around that time? Did you feel alone, or did you have friends who would always like, "Come on, girl, you know, it will be better."
Hang in there.
Yeah, I had my 2 best friends, and they were just like, "Oh, come on, like you're fine, blah blah blah," and I just didn't listen to anybody. I didn't listen to my parents. I didn't listen to them. I was just like, "You're supposed to say this stuff to me," you know, like.
So you feel like
Yeah.
you felt like you were on the island alone. Only you had to deal with it. Nobody understood, right?
Nope. Because even the guys wanted to be tall at a young age. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to be like
Right.
women don't want to be tall at a young age, but the guys always are like,
Yeah.
I want your height. I'm like, yeah, because you're a man, like you're a guy, you're a boy, like it's not normal
Yeah,
for like
that's a good
me.
comparison.
Yeah.
So Jade, you know, we understand during this phase you weren't feeling very confident, regardless of how beautiful your mother and your father told you you were, and you're absolutely gorgeous, or
Thank
even
you.
your best friends. But tell us about the flip side of that. What are some of the positives of being your height?
Well, it's sports, obviously. Volleyball, I play volleyball, and I was able to get a full scholarship, so I don't have to pay for anything in college.
Good for you.
Yes, and
Oh, good for you.
Good for you.
and it just helped me get that. Like I don't have to pay. Like I see some of my friends struggling, like they have to get jobs and stuff like that, and I don't have to. I was blessed. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So let's just be clear about that. So you have a full scholarship. It's a volleyball scholarship. You are going to Manhattan College. So you're in New York. Let's talk about that. This is your first year
Yes.
away. How is that for you? We know how it is for your mom. How we heard.
Tell us everything. Okay.
Maybe not.
It's honestly, it's good for me. I think it's way harder for my mom and my dad since I'm his only child, and I never really got homesick. Like, yeah, I missed home, I missed my parents, but like I was already independent before I left here. Like I had my own schedule. I had like school and then practice, and then my mom, she plays volleyball, and my brother works and goes to school, so we were all on different schedules, so I had to already be on my own.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't very hard transitioning for me, like my other friends. Like I know my other friends who had they went to I don't know, who are closer, had a closer. I mean, we're close, but we all have different schedules, so we're always
Right,
just
independent.
I had my car, I'm driving, but people who had their parents driving them, they were dependent on stuff, are worse in college than I was. I was fine. We would talk about homesickness. I'm like, I don't really have that. But for my mom,
Amazingly, Jade went to college at 17 years old.
Yeah.
So not only was she tall at a young age, but she also matured at a young age because she was ahead in school. So when Jade started high school, for example, she played with the seniors on the volleyball team. So her height was an advantage and her skill level, because Jade started playing beach volleyball with her dad and myself at the park. So they didn't offer it in middle school, but the advantage was she played with adults at the park, and that's where she found her love for volleyball. So transitioning her to high school, as soon as she walked in the door for, what was it you went for the first invitation to come in for volleyball camp, where they get to recruit the new girls. As soon as she walked in, several girls came up and said, we want her on our team, just because of her height. I just backed away and left Jade there, and that was the
Well, you know what? You said something a while ago that now brings in a different dynamic, because I know this will happen sometime. So therefore, you're viewed as a person who's older than they think you are, right?
Yes.
That's another.
So then you get some old man and
Oh.
probably come up, right?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I know we're about the same age and thing, and you like,
Oh yeah.
Back up.
I always seem older. Even now, I'm like, I'll say I'm 18, and people be like, no, you're supposed to be like 22 or something. Like, no. But some people do think I'm my age because of my face.
Right.
Some people say I have a baby face.
Yeah.
So it's just all perspective. But like yeah.
How do you think when you were growing up, your perceived adversity from being so tall and being uncomfortable in your skin at the time?
Yeah.
How do you think that has affected your confidence now? You think it was an advantage?
Yeah, because I definitely got through it, and I'm way better than I was back then.
Yeah.
Like,
You built up a self-reliance, you think?
Yeah. I definitely, that's what I call it. Yeah.
You know what? It's funny that you hit on that, because it's one of the things that popped out to me also. Sometimes we look at the hardships that we have to go through in life, but that's what anneals us to make us independent and not have to be dependent on anyone, and also have a different, because you have a different perspective, you also have empathy for other people, and it also makes you so confident.
It comes back to the same metaphor, right? You get diamond by crushing.
Crushing, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good to stand out. You might not appreciate it at the time, and I'm sure, even though your parents are telling you how beautiful you are, your friends are telling you, and you still, didn't believe it at the time, like Sean and Keith are saying, it made you into who you are today. But switching gears on you for a little bit, we did a previous episode on hair, and your mother shared with us some things that you put in your hair. Some egg and mayonnaise,
salad dressing,
peanut butter,
beer.
No, okay. I experimented this once. It was egg, mayonnaise, and honey. And the egg and the mayonnaise are supposed to be protein.
Act as a moisturizer.
Yes,
Get it
yes.
to the follicle.
Oh, here,
And
man.
then the honey, the honey was for like shine and like, I don't know, something like that. And it didn't work for me personally, but what I learned with my hair, one major thing is that everyone's hair is so different. Like when I was going through my experience and I was trying to find stuff that worked for me through YouTube videos and other women doing their hair, I would get so angry when like their product didn't work on my hair.
Right.
Like it's two different people, two different types of hair, so you just gotta feel it out.
YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's everybody's go-to.
Saved me.
Is YouTube
University.
Let me tell you something. I have had this experience with a doctor.
Tangent time. Here we go.
Yeah. I research. We all self-diagnose. So you go on YouTube. Is this what's happening? You go on a WebMD or wherever
Don't
it is.
go on WebMD. You'll be planning your funeral.
Exactly. So you go find out all these things when you get to the doctor. So doc, so I figured out what I got. They're like, oh, Jesus.
They get mad. Don't do it.
But we all do it.
Yeah.
The doctor take a plaque out the wall.
Yeah.
Here you go.
You don't
take
need
it.
me.
You don't need me.
What I found interesting, because I asked my son, AJ, I asked him, how do you feel about your hair? And his hair is similar to Jade's hair, probably, I would say it's similar to her hair. And he says, I have no problem with my hair. In fact, I wish he would like cut it more and trim it up more, but I'm being a mom there. But he was very confident in his hair, never wished it was any different, happy. So I think guys go through a different viewpoint of their hair versus
They don't have much
young
hair.
ladies.
I know.
Well, AJ has a lot of hair.
No, not like
Yeah, some
Not
guys go
like
too
yours.
far with their hair. Hey, you know what? Let me stop. Let us stop on the hair thing. We have no legs to stand on. Technically.
But Jade, your mom shared with us that you went through different phases. You did the relaxer thing, you did the braid thing, and then you came into your own.
Yeah, so middle school, my mom only knew how to comb my hair. That's the only thing she knew, and she wasn't very good at that part either.
Blow that skirt.
So she would comb it out.
Stones.
Under the bus.
She'd wash it and then comb it out and then put it in this puff, and I just had a puff of hair
Afro puff.
on the top of my head. Yeah,
Just
just one single
puff.
puff.
One
on the
puff
top of
though.
my head.
Everybody did puff.
Yes. on the hair. And that's all she knew how to do with it. She didn't even know how to flat iron it. It was just bad. So,
Thank God for
Sorry,
that.
baby. I
that's
apologize.
okay. You never knew how to deal with my hair because your hair is like different texture. So then I was like, let's relax it because I went to a Dominican shop and they were like, you should relax your hair. I was like, yeah, straight. Don't have to deal with it. Don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then my
It
hair.
drop off?
Yeah.
You drop out?
Not all of it at
Okay, you
once.
started breaking off.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
So like I would brush it, and then I'm like, this is like way too much hair coming out, and
Yeah.
it's just breaking. I was like, okay, this is not going well. So then I decided to grow out my hair, but I didn't want to. I was looking up YouTube videos, and they were all saying like doing the big chop, which is like cutting off all the relaxed pieces, and I was like I was starting high school, so I was like, no, I'm not going into high
That's
school
extreme.
bald, you
Yeah.
know. So like I was like, let me just do braids.
Yeah.
But I saw that on YouTube, and that's when I had braids in my hair all this time, and it started growing out.
Yeah.
And then I clip away the ends and then put braids back in, grow it out.
That's a good transition.
Yeah, it really did help me.
Style.
Because I did not have any confidence to chop off all my hair in 9th grade.
Yeah.
So I just decided braids worked for like a year, and then my hair was at an actual length where I could wear it out.
But some people think that natural hair is less maintenance, but you still have to maintain your hair.
It's so much.
Yeah.
My mom complains about the water bill all the time.
And her brother complains about how long she's in the bathroom.
But it takes work.
Could you repeat that to the camera, please?
Yes.
Yes, you still have to
It still takes work.
maintain.
Yeah, it still takes work. It still
Yeah.
takes work.
A lot.
But your hair is healthier.
Yeah.
You get to deal with it properly. It's healthier.
Right, so we were talking about that. We're glad that you went through the transition and you experienced it firsthand and you realized that natural hair, no shade against however a woman wants to wear her hair, but, just the versatility of it and the health of it and the strength of it and all, and to me, it brings out your real beauty. So I'm glad that people out there are discovering, let's just stay away from the chemicals, if you will, and embrace that natural beauty.
Natural orange juice.
Yeah.
Honey. That way your hair going on more, it tastes good.
Okay. All right. So we talked about you going off to college, and you weren't so as codependent as some others. So you're transitioning well. What about the cold?
No.
Not feeling it?
Not transitioning well with that. It's just being from Florida just really sets you like way back, like because you have sun all the time, and it's like the coldest you get is like 50 degrees. I'm dealing with 20 degrees, like going out in snow and boots and all of that stuff.
But that's a good hair day.
It is.
Okay, I have a story for you.
Oh boy.
Did the hair freeze?
Yes. That's when I knew. That's why I was like, no, this is not working.
Went out with a damp hair and it.
Yes.
No,
broke.
you can't go with damp hair.
Yeah.
Florida girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida girl.
So I
They're
just-
probably like, you learned
Yeah. I my hair is wet right now. I just
Yeah.
wash and go, and then it's just I washed and went, and it just froze, and I was like, well, I was like, I was so scared. My friend, I was like, we went a short distance, so
Yeah.
it didn't break off. Like it just thawed when I.
Yeah, but you
got
just
to
have to
it.
be careful.
Right.
Yeah,
You can get
I was
sick.
so scared. I was like, my hair is gonna break off. Like we need to get to this place
Right
right
now.
now. I was like, no, this is my hair. Like this is what it's me. Like people know me. They know my hair. Like come on.
They see your hair coming before they see
Yes,
it.
exactly.
But Jade, going back to your height, what message do you have for young people out there, whether it be height, weight, whatever? For you personally, it was height, but what message do you have for people out there that are different, for the kids?
The thing is, I had to learn that in this world, different is okay and accepted. What made me go through all of that stuff before was fear of being different. Because I knew I was very different, and the thing about this world is that our society is like, it puts you in this thing where you want to be normal. And I wanted to be normal growing up.
Conform.
Yeah, but once I got older, I found out that it was just, there's so many people. There's so many different people, and I began to appreciate the uniqueness of every single individual person. And I didn't know that when I was younger, it's just being around, in my little bubble, I just didn't see like anything getting better. Like I even in middle school, I was like, oh my God, my kids. Okay, I'm like 11 talking about my kids. Like oh my God, I'm gonna have to marry someone taller than me, and then my kid is gonna be like worse than me. And I was like, no, it's just like embracing it. And I had to go through that stage to embrace it and learn that different is beautiful.
Okay.
Yes. Not just okay, it's beautiful.
Absolutely. So I heard there was a message at church on Sunday.
Yes. So we went to church on Sunday, Church by the Glades, and one of Jade's friends was able to do a special service there. So I'll let Jade speak to that.
Yeah, my friend Charlie Hughes.
Big up Charlie Hughes.
Church by the Glades.
Yeah, he is the son of Pastor David and David Hughes. And he usually does the teen services, but he got the opportunity to preach on the main stage. And he basically talked about how he would always look at the basketball players at his school. They were 7 foot tall, 6'9", 6'7", and be like, why did God make me so short? He's probably like my height. And he's like 5'10", probably shorter. And he's like, why did he make me with this challenge,
Yeah.
And then he just said that.
No, I was kicking.
Oh, sorry. He just said that wasn't his calling. Like these basketball players, they go on to play, college basketball and stuff like that. That's their calling. But he was saying that he found his calling to be preaching and talking through, like God talking through him, and that he didn't need height for that. So he was just basically saying that God made you who you are for a purpose, and that to not think of what you think is like something that hinders you, and turn it and it's something that to embrace.
Yeah.
Because he finally stopped thinking about like why was he made so short or whatever, and like he started accepting it because that's not his calling. His calling is to preach and to live through the word of God.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And the interesting thing about Charlie is he's best friends with all the basketball players at his school. And so they all love each other. I mean, being around these kids, they're all amazing. Watching them play, their energy. But then this weekend, Jade and I got to witness Charlie preach and send such an important message to young children just to discover your purpose. And he actually had us crying.
Yeah.
After
you
this,
cry for everything.
I was crying the minute he walked on because I was so proud of him. And then just to hear him speak and the importance of his message. And then after church, of course, we linked up with him. And, just to see all the parents, the young kids and the grandmothers. Someone came up to him and someone had to translate because they were speaking Spanish. And a young lady was talking to him. So just to see how impactful his message was about finding your purpose is really a blessing.
Just to piggyback on that, which you guys experienced this past weekend, and we just lost someone who was a prime example of what you guys are talking about. Stephen Hawking, just lost him 2 days ago. And talk about adversity. He suffered with ALS, and he was a brilliant intellectual mind that brought so much to the world. And he was able to do that with a seeming disability. But it wasn't a disability, it was a different ability. Right? So it's a beautiful message.
Right. And
Yeah, but look at that. A person who could have been, ostracized and put to the side and so forth, and use just the knowledge, just his capable, whatever capability he was given by God. To really rise above everybody else. And I think that's almost like total focus on what you have. Like there was a saying, as strong as, how you go?
yours.
You don't know how strong you are until you have to be strong.
Until you need to be.
Right.
Yeah. And then that's it until that's your only option, right? So it's just one of those things that sometimes adversity corrals you into making you that
molding you.
Right.
So the diamond thing come back again, right?
So I think that is our message for this episode is, we are all here for a purpose. We're all here for a reason. Nobody could ever do what you do the way you do it, or me, or you, or you, or you, right? We are individuals, and sometimes we're different, sometimes we're not, but embrace who you are, accept who you are, and figure out what your purpose is, figure out why you're here, and make a difference.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I gotta give you guys credit though. Your generation, the millennials, they do get a bad. They get a bad.
Not from me.
But you hear it out there. They feel like they're entitled. But what I noticed with your generation is that they're more embracing of differences.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
More than any previous generation. From where I sit, from what I've seen.
Yeah, that's the truth. And the other thing is, I know not a lot of people look at this when it comes to the bullying, but if you look at the way things are right now, the main thing that everyone goes to is the electronics, and you're tethered to the electronics. And it's so easy for someone to reach and touch you through the electronics. At least we could come home from bullying and we had a little space. We had a rest time.
There's no escape now.
None. Because you're continuously tethered. No matter what social media you go on, you're going to be there. Anything you check, someone can just type something from the other side of the world and affect your life. Or you can get 1,000 people who can do the same from anywhere in the world and affect your life. So I think they have to be constantly fighting.
Well, I definitely want to say I'm proud of you, Jade, for the young lady you are, and for sharing your experiences so openly with us and our viewers.
So this brings us to the end of another episode of
The Caribbean Edge.
Thank you for watching. Remember to like this video, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Jade, thank you for being our special guest tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Our first guest. Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you guys again.